Welcome to Spoonful of Om's Flow class with me, Gina.
Inhale, reach the right leg up toward the ceiling. Walk your hands back toward your toes. Warrior 3. Bring the right knee in, lift up, arms rise. Step the right foot forward, lower the left hand down for a twist. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, warrior 3. Lowering the left foot down to meet the right, arms rise. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release the hands down, stepping or jumping back. Lowering down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, last side, left leg reaches up. Walk your hands back toward your toes. Warrior 3. Hands to heart center, lift up. Start to bring the left knee up and toward the chest. Step the left foot forward, high lunge into a twist. Right hand down, left arm up. Inhale as you rise back up, high lunge. Exhale, hands come to heart center, warrior 3. And lower your right foot down to meet the left, arms rise. Inhale, exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release the hands, stepping or jumping back. Lowering down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Inhale, so you gaze forward toward your hands, bending the knees, jumping or stepping your feet forward toward the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen onto the fingertips. Exhale as you release and fold. Inhale, press down, lift up, arms rise. And from here, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Reach your arms out off the shoulders. Straighten the left leg. Turn the toes toward the back of the mat. And take your left hand to the inside of the right foot as you move into Parita, Trikonasana, or Revolve Triangle. Pulling your right hip crease back, grounding the outer part of your left foot, and starting to turn the torso to the now right long edge of the mat. On your inhale, stay here. Just reach the right arm forward past the ear while still revolving the torso. And then exhale, release the hand down. Walk your hands toward the center, turning the toes toward the long edge of the mat. Lengthen onto the fingertips, top of the head reaches forward. And on your exhale, come to fold. Letting the top of the head release toward the floor, bringing the weight toward the balls of the feet, light in the heels. And on your inhale, come back up onto your fingertips. Walk your hands back toward the back of your mat, turning the toes, Parita, Trikonasana, Revolve Triangle again. This time, bend into your right knee and walk your left hand maybe a foot in front of your right toes, but to the left side. And then press off the left foot, Parita, Artichondrasana, Revolved Half Moon. Holding here as you pull the right hip back. Press firmly into the base of the right big toe so you begin to support and engage the inner part, the medial part of the knee. And then on your exhale, bend your right knee, lower the left foot down, bring your right hand to the floor and straighten the right leg as you move into Parsvottanasana, or intense side stretch. Inhale, so you move up onto your fingertips, walk your hands toward the front of the mat, turning the toes, bend your left knee, and lift up as you move into Warrior 2. Arms reach out off the shoulders. Move the left knee over top of the ankle, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And then on your exhale, right arm releases down, left arm comes up and over, reverse warrior. And inhale, so you reach your right arm past your right ear. And then bring your arms forward, kind of like you're coming into a half fold. Keep pressing into your feet so the legs don't move. And then reach your arms forward so you come into side angle, but unsupported. Arms are still next to your ears. And inhale as you lift up, warrior two. Exhale, spiral your hands to the floor. Frame out your left foot, press into your hands and step it back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Walk your hands back toward your toes, coming into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Squeeze the inner knees together as your right heel points back again. Bend your left knee just a tiny bit and bring your hands up to heart center. Now lift up, take your arms out into a V overhead, and right foot comes toward left thigh, moving into tree pose, Rakshasana. And then on your exhale, come back into flamingo. Hands come to heart center, inner knees come to touch, lower halfway, holding here. Finding your balance, noticing the wiggles of the left foot. And then release the hands to the floor. Walk your hands forward as you come into plank. You can keep the right foot lifted. Exhale, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, both feet come down to the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Inhale, so you gaze forward toward your hands, bending the knees, jumping or stepping your feet forward toward the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen onto the fingertips, long spine. Exhale as you release and fold. Inhale, press down, lift up, arms rise. And exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into warrior two. Arms reach out off the shoulders. And then we'll straighten the right leg and turn the toes so you're facing toward the back of the mat, coming into revolved triangle. Right arm down, left arm up, Parita, Trikonasana. Pull the left hip crease back, holding here. Feel the abdominal muscles engage to revolve. So you're using your side oblique muscles, the inferior ones and superior ones. So you're feeling the sides kind of cinch in and turn. Inhale, reach the left arm forward and hold here, reach through the fingertips. Let the left hand come down to the floor, walk your hands toward the center, long edge of the mat. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale as you fold down, Prasarita Padottanasana. And then on your next inhale, come up onto your fingertips, walk your hands back toward the back of the mat, turning your toes back into Parita Trikonasana, Revolve Triangle. Left arm reaches up as your right hand stays down. Stretch through the side of the body, that left side begins to lengthen and become nice and long. And then take your right hand forward of your left toes about a foot in front, but in line with your right hip. And then bend your left knee as you lift the right leg up, Parita, Artichondrasana, revolved half moon. Press into your right heel, turning the torso to the left. Left hand can come to your hip if that feels better for you. And then holding one more breath as you use your core to turn the torso a little more to the left. And then exhale, bend your left knee, lower the right foot down, let the left arm reach forward and down and come into pyramid, Parsvottanasana, or intense side stretch toward the back of your mat. Left hip crease pulls back, right hip slightly forward, folding toward that left leg and shin. On your inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Walk your hands to the right as you turn your toes back toward the front of the mat. Find warrior two legs, and then lift the arms up. Spiral the left arm, and then the right moving into warrior two. Exhale, left arm comes down the back leg. Right arm reaches up and over, moving into reverse warrior. Bend your right knee nice and deep over top of the ankle and press into the base of the big toe mound. Now from here, your option to reach the left arm past the left ear. You can bring the left hand to your hip too. And then reach the arms forward as you kind of bow forward, keeping warrior two legs, and then moving into side angle as you open the left side body. And inhale as you lift up, reach the arms out off the shoulders, warrior two. Exhale, spiral your hands down to the floor, frame out your right foot and step it back into downward facing dog. Walk your hands back toward your toes, coming into forward fold at the back of the mat. Excuse me. Bring the weight into your right foot and your inner knees come together to touch. Squeezing the legs together, hands move to heart center. And then from here, left foot comes to right thigh, arms reach up into tree pose, Rakshasana. And then on your exhale, hands come to heart center. Bring the inner knees to touch, move back into flamingo. And lower the hands down to the floor as you walk your hands forward. Option to keep the left leg lifted, moving into plank. Bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Inhale, gazing forward toward your hands, big toes come together, bend the knees, jumping or stepping your feet toward the front of the mat. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale as you release and fold over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, reach up, chair pose, Akitasana. Exhale, hands come to heart center, twist to the right, left arm comes to the outside of your left leg as you step your left foot to the back of the mat. Finding a twist here, pressing your right hand into your left as you turn the torso. And then inhale, release the hands to the inside of your right foot and move your right foot toward the long edge, letting the left knee come down to the floor. Uttanapristhasana, or lizard. Ground and press into the base of your right big toe, right knee squeezes in toward the shoulder. Option to lower the forearms to the floor, the hands, fingertips, or palms can touch. You can also bring blocks underneath the forearms to lift the floor up to you a little bit. And then maybe you want to point through your left toes and roll toward the outer side of your left thigh and leg. And then inhale, pressing into your hands. Tuck your left toes under, lift the knee, and reach the arm. The right arm comes underneath the right leg. Left arm reaches out to the left side as you move into a flying lizard. Fingertips can stay on the floor. They can reach behind you, or the fingertips can lift and float off the floor above it. And then on your inhale, start to release the bind, press into your feet, lift up for high lunge, heel toe the right foot more toward the center, and bring your hands to heart center as you move back into your twist. Press your right palm into your left and step the left foot forward as you gaze down toward the floor to meet the right. Bend the knees nice and deep and move the hips down toward your heels. Take the hands to the floor beside you. Option to move into side crow, so your hands are shoulder width apart to the side. You can work on the twist. Press into your hands. Lift the hips up and over top of the upper arms as you move into side crow. Maybe the toes stay to the floor. You pull your heels back toward your thighs as you lift off the floor. Hey, Samantha. And then if you're up in side crow, you can lower your feet down to the floor, come back to center. Bend the knees nice and deep and reach up for chair pose. On your exhale, hands come to heart center, sit a little bit deeper and twist to the left. Right arm to the outside of your left leg. Step your right foot to the back of the mat as you move into a twisted lunge. Press the left hand into the right as you turn the torso. And then on your inhale, release the hands to the inside of your left foot, heel toe the left foot toward the long edge of the mat, and then drop your right knee to the floor. Untuck the toes, lower the forearms down or palms to the floor. See if you can move and sink the right hip flexor downward as you engage the right glute, or you can point the right toes and roll a little bit to the outer right thigh. And on your inhale, press down into your hands, tuck your right toes under and lift the back of your right knee up. Now stay in active lizard. Hands can stay on the floor here, shoulder width apart. Arms can reach out to the sides. Left arm moves underneath the left leg, squeezing the inner thighs together to stay lifted. So if you're pulling your left heel back and your right foot forward toward the center of the mat, arms can fly up. Maybe you reach around and come into a bind. And then on your inhale, you can start to lift up, heel toe the left foot back towards center, moving into high lunge. Exhale as your hands come down and bring your right arm to the outside of your left leg. Press your left hand into your right. Gaze down toward your toes and step your right foot forward to meet the left. Lower the hips down to the floor toward your heels, and then bring the hands down. So your knees are pointing more forward toward the front of the mat. Your hands are down they're probably off the mat, so they're on the floor beside it. So you want enough space between your hands and your feet. And noticing one side might be more twisty than the other or feel better coming into it. So as the palms come to the floor, shoulder width apart, make sure to lift up and over top of the upper arms as you find Chaturanga arms. Maybe the feet stay on the floor, or maybe they begin to lift up off the ground. Pull the heels in toward the backs of the thighs. And then inhale as you turn back to center. Press the heels down to the floor, lift up chair pose, Akitasana. And exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release the hands down, stepping or jumping back. Lowering down, Chaturanga, knees lowered or lifted. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. And letting your heels be heavy toward the floor, press the floor away with your hands. Lower ribs are pulling back a little bit toward the spine, so you find a neutral back. And then bring your attention to where the skull meets the neck and the back of the head, and start to soften into that area. And then two options, you can move through one more chaturanga or vinyasa, or you can bring your knees down and sit into child's pose. And then when you're done with your vinyasa, you can, when you're ready, move down into child's pose. Maybe your hands come under the forehead or by your sides. Resting here a moment as you kind of curl up, letting your forehead round a little more toward the knees and the tailbone pull down toward your heels. And then when you're ready to, on your inhale, begin to extend your legs out long toward the front corners of your mat, allowing your arms to release by your side with your palms facing up or in toward the body. Moving into our final resting pose of Shavasana. If you need to grab blankets or any kind of props, pillows to help support the body while you're in Shavasana, to help you feel more comfortable, you can grab those. And then once you're where you want to be, start to bring your attention to your feet and your ankles and begin to soften there. Relaxing and softening through the calves, the knees, and upper legs, into the structure of the hips and up through the muscles of the back, the lower back, and the upper back. Softening and relaxing through the abdomen, the chest, the shoulders, down through the upper arms, the lower arms, and into the fingertips. Relax and soften through the neck and throat. And then bringing that softening up to the muscles of the face as you relax around the eyes, the lips, the jaw, and the tongue. And giving yourself permission to move a little bit deeper and relax a little bit more into your Shavasana. Now on your inhale, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes.
Rotating your wrists and your ankles. And letting your arms reach overhead into a full body stretch. And on your exhale, pull the lower ribs down as you bring the knees in toward the chest, wrapping your arms around the shins. And then rolling onto either side, resting there a moment. And taking your top arm, pressing yourself up to sit, Sukhasana. And letting your hands rest on your knees or in your lap as you bow your head. And take a moment here to thank yourself for coming onto your mat to practice. We'll end with the sound of Om, taking a deep inhale. Om. Thank you all so much for joining Flow class.